Third coat. Fourth coat. Fifth and final coat. It's 2:40 in the morning. It was a big day. That late night that I had last night, which ended up being work until the early hours of this morning, was not worth it. I've been wrecked all day, and this is all I did all day, which is nothing. Fail. I was a hero in my own mind last night at least. Check this out, Graham. I got a new computer. This one's touchscreen and it was only $300 because it's got some bubbles in the screen, but you can't see them. This is luxury. Check this out. Oh yeah, look at that. Hopefully I don't piss the neighbours off. Man, I love the CNC router. It just made everything perfect. Oh, what did I do there? That's meant to go into there. The holes are done. I screwed these in and sticky taped it to make it a tighter fit, and then that goes on like that. I'll put some melamine around that so it doesn't stick. 500 grit was the last grit that I went over it with. Now I'm just putting wax on it and I'll polish it. Looking better. I just have to keep doing what I know instead of trying to think forward too much. I've put these bits on so I can get wires and hoses into the roof through the actuator posts. It'll make sense later. I got to keep reminding myself that I'm going to make a mold out of the thing that I make there, and it's just crushing me because it's so much work. Life in hard mode. It was so satisfying polishing it. I sanded it a little bit too thin here and I'm too lazy to fix it. So I'll just put a sticker on it. That bit looks alright. I oversized these as well, so I've got some play. I also got some play like that because this is cut out a little bit poopy. So I'll fix that up. I've also realised that I've probably made this too thin. I needed more play because of the shape of it. If it was shaped like that, it would centre itself better. But because these edges are so flat, I really should have had a little bit more play. So with my hose idea, I'm going to have a seal that runs along the edge down here, which will space it out and then really suck it into the centre. I'm thinking anyway, everything's a guess. I'm going to Sikaflex this hose in place. Dacey's giving me all these old clothes for rags. That took 1 hour and 30 minutes. I might not even put a seal there because I'm thinking when the roof lifts up, it'll peel the gasket off the way it is. But it definitely will help when it's going down, centering it. Quick fix. I never would have thought I would be using a hose that was square like this. I haven't even used it. It looks cool. Cheapest, closest thing to what was in my imagination that I could find in Bunnings. I'm thinking I'm probably not going to have to make a mold after this. I'm probably going to use whatever I make with this because making a mold from the thing that I'm doing now will be really difficult and it probably will be very hard to get out because of these ribs that I've just put in. The seals aren't ideal. I oversized these recesses 5mm, so I've got a little bit of play either way. But that meant that I couldn't continue a seal all the way around. So either this seal, which goes all the way around, which doesn't have an end to it, will seal it. But these are mostly here, so it sits down and squashes down nicely onto the hoop and not scratch the paint or gel coat or whatever I do. Probably 2-pack. I didn't bother about putting any seals here. You can see what the difference is in the toilet because I stuffed that up, which did my head in for ages. I put a nice fillet on all the Sikaflex, courtesy from all the radar work that I've done. So everything will release good. But I'm sure I'll be able to rip all the square hose out, which is why I don't think I'm going to be able to make a fiberglass mold out of the part that I make from this. So anyway, I'm going to treat it like it's a finished thing on the bottom. I'll still tack fiberglass it into that and I'll still make a mold of the top of the roof. I just won't make a mold from the bottom of the roof. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anything can change. I don't think much water will get through anyway. Who am I kidding? I'm going to take it out in the worst weather I can think of. It looks beautiful. I did a really thin layer for the first layer and I'm going to do that for the second and the third layer as well. I'm experimenting to see if I do lots of thin layers, I eliminate all the porosity, all the bubbles. I'm trying to get rid of all the bubbles in the gel coat. I'm only brushing it on. Second coat. Oh my God. I really stuffed that up. Jeez, I make stuff look hard. I'm going to wait for this to tack off and get hard enough so I can grind all the air gap areas. Having these recesses everywhere has really buggered me up. I should have done more planning when I cut all the fiberglass. I thought I'd be able to get it with strips and I probably should have just kept sticking with all the basalt cloth fiber. I think that was my best bet. I just feel like there'll be a lot of resin in it. Oh man, this is embarrassing. I just ground all these edges back I actually ground back a little bit too far here, so that's going to get stuck nicely to the hose, and I went too deep here as well, so that will make it a little bit more of a pain in the ass to split it out of the mold thingy that I'm doing. But anyway, I wasn't happy with how there was gaps here because the strands won't do the bend. I really didn't think that through. I should have bogged these edges so fiberglass can wrap around it nicely, which is what I'm going to do now. More gel coat. That's so if I did miss any part to grind, I'll be able to see it easier, and also the gel coat is thin enough to fall in between any cracks or anything like that in the fiberglass if I did miss any bits. I'll wait for it to tack off and then I'll bog it.